All right, I appreciate everybody coming out. My name is Matt Quinn. I own High Tech Outdoors here in town. I bought the place almost 10 years ago. I moved to Marshall County 10 years ago. I had it called Bass and Gas for a while. And, I've been through this process talking about Asian carp for a while, and I don't know if you're like me, but I was always frustrated after I went to a meeting talking about Asian carp on Kentucky and Barkley Lake. So this is why we're here, okay? So this is what we're going to talk about today. How we got here. So, there's been public meetings since 2008 about Asian carp on Kentucky and Barkley Lakes. Fish and Wildlife has done, in 2013 they did Carp Madness, which was the commercial tournament for the commercial guys to showcase that they can catch them. There's a lot of things up on this list. There's been a lot of hard work. Ron Brooks has been the leader of that work. A lot of people are frustrated with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, and I'm here to tell you shouldn't be. They've been doing the best with the resources that they got, and they're getting more resources, which will make it better. Okay? But this is the history. I'm not going to go through each one. You can read it yourself. We had a scathing article at Bassmaster Magazine about our lake. When the Elite Series was here, there was a terrible article about the Asian carp. The fishermen complained about it, and it made us look bad. And then we just had a PR problem. It just put us in crisis mode. There was with War on Carp, we've got some fantastic support out of Wade White over at Lyon County, producing an organization to try to make sure that the government knows about how bad it is. And so that's what's happened. We've got a lot of good support. We got programs going on. We're putting a FAB system in Barkley Dam. And then the next thing happened, and I about wanted to punch Ron in the face on this one. And I'll tell you why. When this video got released to the public, guess what happened? It took our tourism from up here and put it down here. Not the only reason, but it was just a fundamental saying, hey, we've got issues. So that video, how many people have seen this video? Not everybody's seen the video? Well, good. I'll show you the video. Oops, I can't even show it. I guess I don't have Wi-Fi connected. This video was shot, how long ago was it, Ron?
About
6 weeks ago. So this video is on every major network throughout the world, talking about the Asian carp crisis on Kentucky Lake. This is a picture of them shocking the fish. I think you tagged these fish as well, right?
No, not these fish.
Not these fish? Just collected them for size data and stuff? So this was data collection. So look what happened. So how bad is it here for tourism and fishing on Kentucky Lake? Well, the only thing I know is the data that I have. And I'll share it with you. Bait and tackle revenue, down 47.5%. Big number. Anybody here like to go home at the end of the day and not have a check that's 47% less? Nope. That's what's happening here, people. Gotta start thinking. Gotta think out of the box. Fishing license sales. My store is down 63.71%. Now, online has made that. Some people are getting it online instead of coming to our store. But I think we're only of 2 people that actually sell licenses on the lake. So you would think I would see a bump up, not a bump down. This data has been collected since 2012. My best year at a bait and tackle store was 2012. That's before the Asian carp became prominent in our lakes. Okay? Makes sense? Everybody got that one? So, guess what happened? I have to tell the story. I had an epiphany moment. It's an aha moment. I flew to see my daughter in Las Vegas. She lives in Phoenix, Arizona. A lot of you probably heard this story, but I'm going to tell it again. But I went to visit her, and I'm sitting right next to a guy across the aisle that for a 3.5-hour flight from Nashville to Vegas, he worked the entire time. I'm on vacation visiting my daughter. He's working the entire time. I'm like, who is this guy? So I started watching him, kind of eavesdropping on his laptop, kind of like this guy right here. I just saw him over there working the whole time. Well, come to find out, his name is Darren Murphy. I only know that because I saw it come up on his email. Yes, I am a snoop. Next thing I know, he gets an email from somebody asking for Hootie and the Blowfish. A private function, $621,000. An offer for Hootie and the Blowfish to do an event for $621,000. I thought, holy cow. I thought Hootie and the Blowfish was old, which he is. But super popular still, apparently, able to bring in that kind of money. Anyway, I watched him keep working and everything, and I met him just casually. I did not formally meet him. I didn't want to bother him, he was working. I respect people who work. So what happened is, my ADHD kicked in. As soon as I saw this guy working and I got off the airplane, I looked his name up. He is an agent at CAA in Nashville. CAA is Creative Artist Agency. He is the agent for the Dixie Chicks, Loretta Lynn, Little Big Town, Trace Atkins, big superstars, big superstars out of Nashville, Tennessee. I had to wait for my daughter at the airport because she was flying up from Phoenix. And I started, my mind was racing. I was like, man, that's interesting. So the idea came to me. The idea was develop a festival to raise money. Who's heard of Farm Aid before? Most everybody in this room, sorta. In 1985, Willie Nelson, John Cougar Mellencamp, or Cougar Mellencamp, or whichever way you want to, which one he is today, I don't know. John Cougar. Neil Young, and now Dave Matthews. Those gentlemen started a festival. They had 5 weeks to organize a festival. And it was to help with the crisis in the United States of family farms. Family farmers were being struck down by corporate farming instead of family farms. And those gentlemen organized a festival in 5 weeks. They raised $7 million in 5 weeks. Now, gave me that idea. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that here? We have an environmental crisis. It's non-political. Our crisis here is non-political. It doesn't talk about, global warming or PETA or, you can have all the different sides to all kinds of arguments. This one is not arguable. There's an issue, and I think everybody knows it. So the idea came up after I called Farm Aid to find out how they did it. They told me I needed to start a 501c3. Anybody know what that is? Nonprofit organization. Tax exempt. That's the important part, tax exempt. So we can raise money and send the money out where it needs to go. So, I did the Jerry Maguire thing. I wrote a mission statement. Everybody seen the Jerry Maguire show, haven't they? I wrote a mission statement. This is the mission statement. Everybody read it? Help protect and restore fisheries and communities affected by the invasive species Asian carp. Have an annual music, food, and tournament festival to raise money. Work year-round to build a system of conservation or initiatives that values fishing, recreational water sports, and the rebuilding of strong lake and river fishing communities. Everybody got that one? Everybody like it? I see people confused maybe. It's pretty clear. This isn't just a Marshall County issue. This isn't just Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lake issue. This is going to be a national issue. We just happen to get hit with it pretty badly first for recreational fishing. Building a movement. You notice all these people up here on the side? Develop an annual festival with star talent and fishing celebrities to raise proceeds to assist in the management of Asian carp, game fish, and habitat restoration. Pretty nice statement. Anybody disagree with the statement? Pretty tough. Develop a generous group of individual donors as well as corporate donors. By the way, I want to... It's like a Catholic church going to have an offering. That's right, the bucket needs to be bigger. I should have brought a 55-gallon drum. Because I guarantee you most everybody in here cares about this. Probably more than anybody. Develop awareness of the crisis and educate all about the effects of the invasive species via media and social media platforms. There's people doing that today. There's a lot of people doing that. Cindy's got her site with FAAC. We've got War on Carp. There has been a lot of education. There needs to be a whole lot more, especially on the food side of things. These fish are very edible. They actually taste great. And there's no reason why this isn't a market. Now, we do not want to produce a market on the two lakes. That's an important factor here. We want our lakes to be restored to fishing tourism. So it's very, very important. Engage with existing local, regional, national organizations for support and current initiatives. We're not trying to do something new. We're only trying to aid what's already happening here. Okay, this isn't new. This is just a new idea of raising money. Instead of going to the government and crying for the money, we're not going to do that. We're going to organize as a community, develop a festival, deliver that festival, and raise money. Okay? Where's the money going to go? And I think one of the number one things we got to do is make sure the commercial guys are fishing the lake. How many commercial guys do I have in the room right now? Raise your hands. Are you fishing? How long has it been since you fished Kentucky Lake? Today. Good. Anybody else fish Kentucky today? How many people fish Barkley today? Okay. What we have to do is we need to make sure these guys have the resources and the incentive to always fish in our lake. Always. It's vitally important. Ron's done a great job of getting a lot of stuff done, getting the infrastructure in place. But that money starts to run out, and then we lose control of it, and then we don't have fish, and we don't have people doing it, and we need it regularly done all the time. All the time. We're going to fund game fish habitat restoration. I've already talked to Ron and Adam and Jennifer about this. I know a lot of times what happens with them is they may have the resources to put new habitat in the lake, but they run out of money for the product. They can't buy enough concrete and stakes and buckets and concrete and everything that you need, seed for grass. We need to make sure that they have that and they won't run out of that money. Because that's how we're going to get our lake back. Now, the biologist in the room, I want you to kind of be careful. Don't squint your eyes too much, because I know I'm going to get a little backlash here. But I want to fund game fish stocking in both Kentucky and Barkley Lake. We haven't done it in a long time. Some of it's been successful, some has not been successful. I think we have to do it to make sure that we don't have the swings that we have with the number of fish that we have in our lake. That's what affects tourism really badly. The last thing, there's two more things. We've got a lot of old ramps, old courtesy docks, old fish cleaning stations or non-existent cleaning stations on the lake. We need to get those back. The number one thing people, when they come down here to the lake, if they've driven for 5 hours to come to our lake, and they go to a ramp and it's broken and busted, or they go to a dock that's all broken or busted and they can't launch their boat by themselves, go try to clean their fish that they did catch that day, and they don't have a facility or a place to do that, that's the number one reason why people don't come back. The number one reason. Facilities. We also got to fund some major fishing tournaments to get them back here. I mean, as our tourism dollars have dwindled over the last 10 or 15 years, guess what? We don't have enough money to attract those major events. We're going to have to get back to it. We got to have money to do that. Those people aren't going to come here to showcase how good our lake is unless they come here. So it makes sense, and that we know where the money's going, what we're going to try to do with it. So here's what it's all about. We're going to have an annual festival that's 2 or 3 days. Celebration of music, family, recreational boating, and fishing with a unique lineup of artists and genres. So not just country music. We need to have everybody exposed. There's a lot of fishermen in the world. They don't all just listen to country. So it's important. Okay? Here are the ideas. So after about a month and a half, these are kind of the ideas people have been giving me. So I wrote them down, kind of expanded on them a little bit. We're going to have live concerts with stars, superstars, and local talent. We may have 2 or 3 venues. We may not just do it at one location because we don't have the size of the place to handle 50,000 people. Okay, so we might have to do it 2 or 3 places. But Marshall County's got a lot of resources. We should be able to pull it off. We're going to live stream our concerts so that people that can't attend can still participate. Again, this is a national issue, not just a little local issue. We'll put seminars on in between bands. So what we're planning on doing is having seminars from Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, Tennessee Wildlife, pros, fishing pros, talk about themselves. So for that 40 minutes or 45 in between sets, they'll be able to talk about what's going on. Here's another festival idea. Anybody, who's had Asian carp? Who's tasted it? Not everybody. That's interesting. We should have had it here and we should have tasted it today. Should have thought of that. Put that one on the next one. So Asian carp tasting. Because not everybody has tasted it, they have no idea what it tastes like. They are unaware of how good it is. Have an Asian carp recipe cook-off competition. Do barbecue on the river, don't we? Why don't we do Asian carp tasting competition? There's people all over the country that are making recipes of this stuff, and it's fabulous. There's a guy in Louisiana right now that makes a fabulous dish. Fabulous. Up at Paducah, Sarah has a dish, and it's fabulous. Fantastic. Needs to be exposed. Local food vendors and trucks. Asian Carp Vendor Showcase. This is pretty good one for me too. Cindy we came together about, a couple weeks ago? It was almost like we had ESPN together because we were like, she came up with this idea of having all of these things, and I'm sitting here writing this stuff down. She goes, "Oh my God." And she didn't even know who I was, and I didn't know her. It was ESP. But anyway, what we also need to do is the commercial guys and the processors that are doing all of this work to help get rid of these fish out of our lakes, we need to showcase that. These people are working damn hard. And they need to have a platform that shows that how hard they do work and the products that they're making out of it. How many has been on the website and seen Fin Gourmet? Anybody seen that? It's unbelievable. Look it up when you get home. Fin Gourmet. Look it up on the internet. They processed 20,000 pounds last month, I think. Out of Paducah. They're out of Paducah. Fabulous. You can buy Asian carp fillets. Full pound or 2 pound fillets. $12 a pound. Asian carp bow fishing tournament. Anybody know Johnny Morris that's in the room? You know Johnny? His son is a professional bow fisherman. So whoever knows him or knows of him and can contact him, they need to bring their bow fishing tournament here to Kentucky Lake during this festival. Great opportunity for them and us. Open fishing tournaments for bass, crappie, catfish. That's without saying. We have a lot of resources here in Marshall County, and we're going to have fishing tournaments here to raise some money. Have a commercial fishing tournament, Carp Madness. Now, before the commercial guys get all over me about this, some of you don't want to do it, maybe not. But what it does is, from a PR standpoint, it's important for us to show how much you actually catch every day. It's incredible. It's fantastic. We need that PR. Fishing with the Stars. Who wouldn't want to take Luke Bryan out on the water? How much would you pay to do that? Or Carrie Underwood? I gotta stay general here. I gotta stay neutral. Kids fishing tournament. These are just ideas. High school and college fishing tournament. I don't know, maybe we will do that, maybe we won't. These are just ideas. Fishing with the pros. Who wouldn't want to go fishing with Kevin Van Dam or Wally Marshall? Who wouldn't want to do that? How much would you give to do that? I guarantee you there's people across America that would pay a pretty penny to do it. And I think we have the network of people here to convince them to show up and give a little part of their time to our cause. Fishing with the music stars, bow fishing with the pros. Who's gone bow fishing before? Not even a third. Okay? That's probably one of the most fun things to actually do. If you've ever done it, it's actually fun. So that's what we need to do, is we need to promote the fun. Because it is fun. If you've never done it, you should try it. There's people that do it for a living. Here's another festival idea. Let's have our own boat and fishing expo. We can do that with national and local dealers and manufacturers. I think that's pretty important here. Scavenger hunt poker run. We did that last year. We did it in the summer, or actually this year. Raised some money. We raised what, $7,000? $6,000. So that was sent out by people doing the commercial guys got a stipend off of that event. It works. If we do 10,000 here, 100,000 here, $1 million there, we can raise a lot of money. Don't laugh about $1 million, because I'm going to show you something else. Golf tournament. Who knows how to run a golf tournament? Who knows how to raise money with a golf tournament? That's the important thing. Very good. 3D archery tournament. Got a lot of people bow fishing. Well, what we'll do is we'll use those Asian carp things and shoot arrows into them. To hell with those fish. Who knows how to organize a dinner auction? Appreciation awards. A dinner auction. Everybody's been to one. They're pretty good. They're pretty fun, and they can raise a lot of money too. 50-50 raffle. I'm going to tell you a little story. Kenny Ernst came to me after I showed him all these ideas, and he says, "Man, we got to do a 50-50 drawing." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I think up at in Evansville, the Nut Club had a 50-50 drawing in Evansville, Indiana. It started out 2 weeks prior to the event. 7 days. It was a 7-day thing. Next thing I know, I keep getting these texts from Kenny saying each day it crept up. They raised $1.2 million on a 50-50 drawing, half pot. If it can't be done, why are people doing it? And why aren't we? We got more audience than they do. Sell promotional items, t-shirts, hats, etc. So that's obvious. Make some money on stuff that people can identify with. Okay, the next one is naming ideas. The first thing that people always came to me and said, we can't call it Carp Aid. Can't do it. Don't call it Asian Carp Aid. Right? Everybody agree? Nobody wants that? I kind of was arguing that, hey, if you're an alcoholic and you're not, you can't admit it, we have the problem, folks. So why can't we call it that? Carpapalooza. That's pretty good. That's good. Write it down. Fish Aid. Anybody else have any suggestions? Fish fry on the river. Not bad. Fish fry on the river. See what the issue is here, folks, is it's going to be hard to name it. It's going to be very hard. Because it never is going to be what we want to represent. and also make it cool sounding that where it comes off your tongue. But we're going to have to name it. We have to name it. Okay, now, ideas are easy. Execution is hard. My ideas up here are they were easy. What's important for everybody to understand in this room is it's hard to execute this without a group of people that care about it. And I think we have those people in this room. So this is our board of directors for the nonprofit. We haven't actually established the nonprofit yet, but these will be the board members of the nonprofit. Myself, Chris Becker, Ray Bargy, Ron Lappin, Terry Bolton, and Kenny Ernst. Anybody else want to become a board member? Please ask me. So, what can you do? What can everybody do in this room? Not just come up with ideas, but what can we do? Everyone can contribute to this. I just came up with the idea. I have never in my life organized any festival of any sort. I can tell you that right now. I have never done anything like this. But there's plenty of people in this room that have done pieces of it. So we're going to break up into committees. Leverage your interests, context, and resources and your time. Some of you have more time than others. But I guarantee you, if you start talking to people that you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, that's resources. That's how you leverage resources. Everybody in this room can do that. And if we do that, we can make this happen. If you're passionate about the community that we live in, this is the time to get involved and make a difference. I'm just being serious. We can't just rely on everybody to do it. We can't rely on War on Carp to do it. We can't rely on Kentucky Fish and Wildlife to do it. We can't rely on the federal government to do it. We have to do it. That's how we're going to get it to happen. So we're going to have committees. If you see around the room, I've got little posters for each one of the committees. So the business committee, what they're going to be in charge of is getting the nonprofit set up, banking, insurance, law, budget, title sponsorship, and naming of the festival. So if you have interest in any one of those things, go to the business community wall, our table. Okay? Everybody got that one? We're going to the next one. Communication. If you're a website, Facebook guru, and you know about social media, and you understand PR and advertisement, this is the committee for you. You're going to also make sure that we have a logo, t-shirts, hats, bumper stickers, all that good stuff. So if it interests you, you should go to the communication committee. Concert and entertainment committee. I'm going to be a co-chair of that. If you're interested in helping me try to figure out how we're going to produce music talent in Marshall County for 3 days, 12 acts. This is what we got to do. We got to figure out the selection of the venue. We got to find out who can produce it, recruit the music stars, and figure out a schedule, security, parking, food vendors and trucks, places to stay. If we bring in 40,000 people into Marshall County, where the heck are they going to stay? Think about it. It's going to be tough, but it's not impossible. Woodstock, Bonnaroo. If you're a person interested in the fishing tournament side, Ron Lappin will be the co-chair, looking for another co-chair. All these committees are going to have co-chairs, because not just one person can do all of the work. That's what's important here. That's why I broke it up into different committees as well as having co-chairs. Just because you're the chair doesn't mean you do all the work either. Just to let you know. Everybody's got to do it. So if you're interested in boat fishing, bass fishing, crappie fishing, cat fishing, carp madness, I think Ron Brooks has already said that he would help with getting that organized since they did that last time. Fishing with the Pros event, fishing with the Stars event. Asian Carp Vendor Showcase, Cindy Bender's going to be one of the chairs of that. So if you're interested in doing the things that we need, from carp tasting to cook-off recipe competition and showcasing the vendors that are processing this stuff, this is your committee. You need to be part of it. Doesn't that stuff look good over here? It looks pretty darn good. I'm hungry. Boat Fishing Expo Committee. I don't have anybody to co-chair that right now. Who wants to do that? We got to figure out where we're going to do it, recruit boat vendors, fishing equipment vendors, and local fishing and boat businesses so that we can have a fishing expo. Scavenger hunt. Chris Becker did it last time. Guess what, Chris? I'm signing you up. So we'll do a scavenger hunt. We might do boat and might do land this time. We'll see. Is that what we did both? That's why you raised so much money. Golf Tournament Committee. I don't have anybody to do that. I need somebody to step up that can produce a golf tournament. Venue selection, hole sponsors, all that good stuff. 3D Shoot Committee. Jeff Deisnicker, one of the high-tech pros. He's going to be one of the co-chairs to get that set up. We'll probably do that at Ken Lake at their 3D target range. Pretty easy to do, probably easy to make some money, raise some money. 50-50 raffle, we already talked about it. This was the final number that the West Side Net Club, anybody ever even heard of this club? Okay, that's because you're from around Evansville. But I'm telling you folks, they raised $1.228 million. And they have not had somebody claim it as of yet. So if that happens, the charity gets the whole thing. So if you're interested in that, you'll get with Kenny Ernst and John Lott about that. If that's something you want to do. Dinner auction, appreciation dinner. Who knows how to organize that? That's something that people can do. Be a perfect thing to do. Dinner auctions always produce good income.